welcome to this video. The subject of this video is a theory of mine, a theory that I've developed called idea theory. Idea theory is likened to a creation theory. It is the ground roots on which the tree of life and its own theory is developed. In fact, the tree of life extends beyond the existence of an idea theory. Essentially, what the dynamical differences between my theory and another theory is that I utilize something called form. Form is likened to a list. So essentially what you're thinking of is a list of words. And the reason why I bring that up is because instead of a thesis, like a journal paper that I'll write, and writing out a whole paper, and instead of writing out paragraph forms an explanation of the theory, all I have to do is list or form in an ordered manner a list of words. And those words are the theses of following when you have a thesis statement in a paper. It's what the meaning of the paper is. So essentially, this thesis in form looks like this. So it's basically one of these things, and there's actually 46, or rather, so 47 words that are used, and that list itself is the thesis statement because it's in form or in list form. So my theory, called idea theory, would be like a creation theory. It would be like an answer to your existence, an answer to the existence and its substance and how the substance works outside of us. We are in a body internally, and externally there's substance. That substance works a certain way as well. It happens that both rules that apply to us apply to substance. We know that in our theories of physics. This theory specifically includes physics, but physics does not include this theory. The problem is that in physics, you're working with a finite alternative theory. I'm going to mention something. In philosophy, or rather in magic, there are hand paths. Now, with that, there are really only two hand paths. Not black and white necessarily, but rather 1 and 2. 1 is heaven. 2 is hell. The reason why I use such powerful words is because it best describes the difference between something that is heavenly and something that is hellish. You can easily understand what I mean if you just immediately think of what hell is to you and what heaven should be. One is more of a paradise, you are primordial, you live forever, and the other, there's death, there's finitude, and no meaning. So the reason why physics is included is because alternative realities are possible, knowable, epistemic things when compared to unknowable, unepistemic alternative theories. But because the knowable can know something that is unknowable, whereas when you are in the unknown position, logically you cannot know something, you claim. So you couldn't claim heaven's path because, well, it would have to be known, and you're claiming something, you're not knowing something. So I mentioned the paths because in idea theory, idea is the last, this is why it's called idea theory. Idea is the last word right here, idea. And theory is way down here. Theory, in the 1 position. That is why it's called idea theory. I should list off a basic 10. There's a basic 10 here that apply to, if you'd like, the children of God. And all of this applies to us, but there's a difference between the effect it has on us and whether or not we can affect it. So there are words here or theories that can affect us, but we can't affect the theory as children of God. So those 10 are the most important, and that is knowing, sensation, religion, ritual, rules, number, sound, shape, color, and body. You can imagine a body, and going up from the body, other bodies representing higher things, and then you have 10 bodies on top of each other. You've maybe seen 3 before, or 2 before, the mind-body-soul relationship, the Trinity. Well, here we're talking about 10. We also maximize 10 because of number theory. 10 is the highest number, 1 is the lowest number. All number after 10, starting at 11, is a repetition of a 10 set. Now, what happens is 11, or rather the number that is the creation number, 11, is wisdom. That is also included in the 10. That will be explained in a second. If you were thinking in hellish terms, the difference between wisdom, which is heavenly, and hellish terms, you would have experience. Experience isn't wisdom. It's often noted that in phenomenology, the experience of your knowledge. Well, phenomenology would be that. But if phenomenology was the wisdom of knowledge, it wouldn't be the same thing. There's a difference between understanding and not being able to understand. With experience, you cannot understand what is happening. But whereas with wisdom, you can understand what's happening. There is an understanding. That's in epistemic terms. Now, there are 47, but technically there are 51. And that is because the hellish path isn't counted until completion of the theory. It's not actually included in the actual theory. It's a subsidy or a subsequent of the theory. First, the right theory has to exist. The correct, complete theory has to exist, which is the heavenly path. And then the hellish path comes secondary, is created out of the primary path, the heavenly path. Paths are right below theory. But you wouldn't call this a path theory because it's not possible to have a path 0. You see there's 0, the lowest number, which is less than 1. Path has to do with connectivity, how things connect. The path through which you take creates something. Or, on the other side, the idea held in secret creates something. So secrecy is on the other end of path. I couldn't call this a secret path theory because it wouldn't be a theory. It would be something you couldn't state or understand. It would be in godly terms. We know a very limited and finite amount of information about godly terms and how God works, because God can do something in the form of representation. Through our wisdom, we can understand more. But we are actually constricted to the 10. So despite the fact that there are 47 here, and there are 2 paths, heaven and hell, and besides the fact that that really equals 51, because you have harmfulness, deathliness, and pacification, steps of hell. So that equals 51 positions in the theory. If you're still with me, you'll remember that I mentioned that rather than a thesis statement, you have a thesis list or form. That actually works because we know what form is and why that's integral in the theory. In any theory, there is always form. So you should actually, what it sounds bold, but basically what this theory ought to do is be the groundwork for anything and everything. It's a theory of existence. Now, I call it the tree of life or the idea theory. The reason why I mentioned tree of life is because this is one of the limited things we know about God's terms, about God's understanding. So if I could mention each one step by step, but I'm not going to. I'll go back to the 11 that matter, and I'll mention them one more time. So that's wisdom, knowing, sensation, religion, ritual, rules, numbers, sound, shape, color, and body. If you look around you and think in and of itself, you will see that. And you will see that that is the basis of anything that exists. The reason why physics doesn't work, it's an alternative existence. It's not life, it's alternative existence. It is like a piece of land portioned out in life to give to existence, where you can exist in an alternative way. And that answers all the questions. Why are we living on a planet with death and killing and suffering and enslavement or whatever else is going on? Well, that is because we live in an alternative existence. That is a choice that you made to exist here in the alternative reality, from where you were in life and the tree of life, Eden. If you were to call existence something to Earth, it would be Earth, because we know of no other life. You could say that we are a microcosm of a macrocosm, and that Earth represents the name of existence. Theoretically, you could have basically Eden, and which is life, and the alternative existence, which is Earth. These two are both knowably different in exact knowable epistemic ways. You can prove these epistemically and justify them beyond belief, but to complete certainty with this theory. I hope this introduction to life and the tree of life has made some sense and helped clarify things. Perhaps improved your understanding, perhaps brought about a discussion, an internal dialogue, through which maybe you could understand more about your existence and why you exist. In the name of the Father, Amen.